This natural resources boat is taking off with a weed expert from Utah State University on board. They're looking for Eurasian water milfoil, which has been in Bear Lake about 4 years, but doesn't come to the surface to flower.
That means that the plant is not happy, it's not thriving, and we don't understand why.
And the problem with an unhappy weed?
The plant that's stressed cannot absorb the herbicide and be controlled by it.
So they're out on the water.
I think that's my buoy.
Checking equipment that measures sunlight and temperature at various depths. And they're dragging the bottom in small marinas, also looking for curly-leaf pondweed.
It produces a lot of these turions, and each of these turions will sprout 3 to 4 times and start new plants.
Besides displacing the food and hiding sources for fish,
they can also change the nutrient cycle of the water, and by that they can cause harmful algal blooms at Bear Lake.
For people,
if your boat prop gets stuck in these invasive plants, it gets all tangled up and then it can't move. And obviously worst case scenario is if it's in some of these marinas, if a kid were to fall in, they could get tangled up and they could drown.
And then the crew visited this small marina. These are piles of curly-leaf pondweed the operator has raked up.
She says it's been absolute hell trying to pull this out.
So DNR shut down the motorized craft in the marina.
Because the props will stir up all that vegetation, chop it up, and those fragments can establish new populations across the lake.
DNR and Ortiz know the in-season timing is lousy for business, but the growth cycle of the weeds and getting someone here to spray is controlling the schedule. Ortiz says, well, Utah has a plan to stop invasive mussels, and these boats get inspected for them. For plants, not as much. This is their little sign, and there's no inspection, even though Ortiz says it was probably a traveling boat that brought the weeds here.
There are studies showing that plants that stays in the moist areas of boats during transportation, they can stay alive for up to 90 days.
It's a big, beautiful lake that we want to make sure we preserve that blue, clear color.
Brian Champagne, Fox 13 News, Utah.